Welcome back to Leadership in Action, the show. We have some good news for you today. In fact, we have a whole show of it.
I'm Leo Ramos, alongside with me, Tristan Murrow, and without further ado, let's jump right into it.
Well, guys, the weather outside is getting colder, so you know what that means. Time to start rocking out to All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Don't you think that's a little too early? It's only November.
It's never too early to celebrate Christmas.
Really? Wow, okay. Well, enough about the future. We've got some great things happening in CBC right now. Part of our mission here at Leadership in Action is to highlight things happening in CBC that may not be well known to all of our community. So today, we decided to start off this episode by talking about less publicized programs at CBC.
One lesser publicized group that we want to talk about is the guys who make up our Scholar Bowl team. So to introduce Scholar Bowl and the captain of the team, here's the moderator of the program, Miss Deerhoff.
Hi, I'm Miss Deerhoff, and I am the Scholar Bowl head coach, and I think one student who doesn't get enough recognition is Brenda Benigno. I first met him as a freshman when he started doing Scholar Bowl, and he has consistently been a real leader on our team, and he is not only great as a player himself, he's been really awesome at mentoring up-and-coming guys as well. So I just think he needs a little bit more of a shout-out for his part in all of that.
Now, we were lucky enough to get an interview with Brenda Benigno, so let's send it to him to explain what Scholar Bowl is and talk about his experience with it.
Hey, my name is Brenda Benigno, and I've been a part of Scholar Bowl for 4 years now. I'm the varsity captain, and before that, I was a JV captain. So a lot of people ask, what is Scholar Bowl? And so within a match, there are 20 of those, they call them toss-up questions. And you have 4 people on a team, and so you buzz in, and if you get the question right, you get the bonuses for your team to answer. And so we play in the private league, which happens in the fall, with schools from West County, South County, and the city of St. Louis. We also play in various different tournaments throughout kind of the winter and spring, such as one at WashU. And then we ultimately compete at the district level, going for state title. Because Scholar Bowl is a Misha sport. You know, going forward, I'm super excited for what this year has to offer. We have super strong teams, a super fun culture. We've really built that up, and I think that's so intrinsic to the success of an organization. I think we really have that this year.
Wow, I wish I could be that smart.
I think we all wish you could be that smart, Leo.
Okay. Another program that oftentimes just quietly does its thing here at CBC is our band and choir program. Okay, well, maybe not so quietly, but our students put in countless hours of work every week in order to make fantastic music and breathtaking performances. I myself went down to speak with Mr. Mueller, the director of Brothers in Harmony, our choir program, and Mr. Sharkey, the director of the band program, to learn a little more about it and what the future of the programs may look like.
Just tell us a little bit about the program. So Brothers in Harmony is CBC's vocal ensemble. So it's a group of singers. We meet after school 3 days a week, and we do a couple concerts a year. We compete in some competitions around the St. Louis area and around the country. We're going to Orlando to perform in March.
All right, so the band program has quite a few facets to it. Obviously, I think everyone knows the jazz band because you see them performing at football games, and also the drum line. We have a cadet band, which is kind of the entry-level band where most students come into CBC and they join the band program that way, and then they kind of branch out into jazz band or modern band, which is our newest band that we have here. That's the rock band that you saw at a football game earlier this year.
Just kind of tell us about who has been like some of your standout guys so far this year. So Devin Herring really stands out as like a leader of the group. He's been a member since he was a freshman. But then we have some non-seniors like Peter Hogan and Michael Kurt, who are really bringing up that underclassmen side.
We have like Henry Reinwart, Sam Castro, Ben Cowart, Alex Gustafson are some really great seniors that are doing some great things in band. Guys like JT Gertis and Carter David play trombone with us. We have some guys that are newer to the program that are upperclassmen, like Alex Wroblewski plays bass in the modern band. And I think like a lot of those guys, they just have a passion for music, and it's really nice to see them kind of bringing that into what we try to do every day.
Who would you say is kind of the unsung hero, somebody who isn't really recognized in the program?
Tristan Murrow, sort of, without taking the spotlight, really like guides the group and is really a good leader without really asking for the spotlight at any point.
We have guys like Nash Gardner, who does a lot. He plays drum set, he plays bass, he plays guitar. He does a lot with kind of helping with equipment, both like percussion and drumline equipment, but also a lot of the audio equipment as well. Xander Johnson, I don't know if I mentioned him earlier, is an upperclassman that's doing a lot of things. He plays the alto sax in the jazz band. He also plays guitar in modern band and is a leader in both classes.
And then I have to shout out Miss Gettleman, who every year sits in and helps me judge the auditions.
Yeah, so just one final question before we go. What are your plans for the future?
I hope to grow the group and get more underclassmen involved, keep the group going strong, really update and grow some of the concerts and events we hold. A couple years ago, we did a big a cappella fest here with a bunch of guests, a cappella groups from other high schools, and I hope to get that back off the ground.
We've done quite a few things here at CBC since I've been here in the past 7 years, where we've done some new things and are exploring some different avenues. The modern band is one of them. Also, the audio engineering class is another, where we're kind of trying to integrate more modern approaches to making music and stuff to do with the music industry.
And then there is the CBC Bowling Team, the legendary but yet somehow sometimes overlooked bowling program started back up again this year under the direction of Mrs. Feldman and CBC alumni Callum Stewart. Last year, bowling lay dormant due to COVID-19 pandemic, but the CBC bowlers are excited to be back on the lanes. We were able to get an exclusive interview with the coach of the bowling team and Dantoine Ballard, one of the most skilled members of the bowling team.
How do you feel about being the coach of the CBC bowling team this year?
I'm really enjoying being the coach for CBC Bowling this year. We've got 2 teams, purple and gold, and we do have a lot of fun. Wednesday night practices, there's a lot of joking around and food eating as well as practice. And our competitions on Sundays are sometimes get a little heated, but very competitive and fun.
Who are some standout bowlers this year?
This year we've got Dantoine Ballard, who has a high score of a 262 in league play. And who knows, maybe he'll go on and play in college too.
How do you feel about bowling being back this season?
I'm actually very excited for it to be back after not being able to do it last year. Kind of missed it. Really been a passion, and it's just nice to have it back. It feels great.
What are your expectations for this season?
I hope to go all the way with the team that we have this year. All the great seniors, sophomores, juniors, just everybody improving. It's just nice to have everybody come out and be great.
Dantoine's record is truly fantastic, but we wish people were more aware of this accomplishment. Dantoine is not the only one in our community who has impressive talents that go unrecognized. We like to call these people CBC's unsung heroes. These people deserve the spotlight just as much as anyone else. So we would like to take a little time highlighting some of these people for all the great talents that they have.
To start, we believe that our team managers deserve a little more recognition. We know you've seen them at every game, but you might not know just how much they do for our programs.
Are phenomenally important to us. We got Kelly Demovitz, Colin Taylor, we got Charles Bryan, and we got Henry Thomas. And what they do for the most part is they do a great job of video and practice for us, uploading practice. And then on game days, it's super important what they do. They're all of our video control guys. They get us the iPads on the sideline so we can see plays that happen live and make the corrections during the game. And then they get us the film after the game. So without these managers, I don't think we would be as successful as we are, because they allow us to see things we don't see live.
Hockey managers for us, I think it's twofold. The first part is they're in charge of our social media, so during the games, Twitter, we're really big on Twitter. They keep track of the game and all that. Secondly, they video the games for us, and probably more importantly, before games and after that, they're kind of there for the players. Camaraderie is part of it, but also, last minute going to get tape, going to get this stuff. So it's kind of good in a weird way to have non-players around, just so I think the managers get to feel what the players go through, and the players get to show what the managers, what they go through, and it's just over the years, they just become a part of our team.
They're there for whatever we need. They're there every day for the most part, practices, You know, so typically you think of like student athletes who have time away from classes that aren't able to dedicate as much time to their work. Well, you know, those managers are in the exact same boat. You know, they're dedicating their free time to the team.
That is so awesome. Everybody should give some props to those guys. But we also have a lot more people here at CBC who are unsung heroes. We sent some of our Leadership in Action crew to talk to CBC's faculty and students and ask them the question, who do you believe are the unsung heroes at CBC and why?
Someone I believe is an unsung hero is Gabe Collins and Jake Schmidt, because they pushed me and the rest of my team to be at practice on time and push us to be more than we thought we could during practice and on the field.
My unsung hero is Mrs. Klukas. She would come to all of our games in the soccer team. She took all of our pictures, and she ran the concessions every game too. So it was cool.
To me, Mrs. Casiola is probably one of the greatest unsung heroes at our school. My reason is I think the mentor program, being a freshman advisor, the mentor program is one of the greatest things that help us freshman advisors, and Ms. Casiola is in charge of that. And she's just one person I go to for anything revolving around any student life activity. I go to her with all my questions.
So my unsung hero of CBC High School is none other than the Godfather, a 1968 graduate of CBC High School, Mr. Mike Bartoni. You guys know him, you love him, you see him around campus. He's here in the morning, he's here in the evening, he's here late at night, he's here after football games, he's here after theater performances, he's here after band concerts. Mr. Mike Bartoni is the heart and soul of CBC High School. And so I am here today to give Mr. Mike Bartoni a shout out as a CBC Unsung Hero.
Okay, I think some of the unsung heroes here are the three maintenance guys, Eddie, Ray, and Alex. Those three guys do a lot behind the scenes. It really makes CBC complete.
The unseen hero, I think, at CBC, I think this guy all the time, is definitely Alex, our head custodian. This place doesn't function without him doing all the work he does, and he does so much behind the scenes. Very few people actually see it, but that dude busts his tail every single day so we can have this school up and running. So my hat's off to Alex, he's the man.
All right, my two unsung heroes here at CBC High School, it's gotta be Melissa Ryan and Lynn Kelly. If you don't know who they are, they're downstairs together in the administrative offices. This is why they're my unsung heroes. Before, when I was in admissions, I had no clue how much they work and what they do for our school. Guys, in the summer, while we're all having fun, going on vacations, playing sports, doing God knows what, every single day they're preparing to get our school ready for the upcoming school year. Every single day they have to solve and critically think and solve some problems that you or I might not see happening in the hallways. But they're two of the best ladies we have on the campus, and I am very thankful to have them in my life, for sure.
Someone who I believe isn't recognized enough for their hard work is Brenda Benigno. I've worked with him throughout 4 years of my high school career in Brothers in Prayer, and every time we're doing a talk or writing something, he puts so much thought and effort into what he's going to say to provide a great message for the people he's speaking to.
I would have to say that one of the unsung heroes around CBC is Chef Rachel. She doesn't get a lot of credit around here, but she keeps the food delicious and hot, and always keeps the kids in mind when she's preparing everything. And you know, I just think that people take for granted that there'll just always be good hot food down there, but she does a good job.
I definitely have to go with Mrs. Dimovitz on that one, up in the counseling office. One of the things that we try to teach here is that every student is loved, that every student can encounter the love of God in his CBC career, and I don't think any student has ever encountered Mrs. Dimovitz and not felt loved.
Heroes here at CBC are Senior Benigno, Senior Hamer, and Senior Snow. And the reason for that is because I believe they are the true role models for what men for tomorrow should be, and oftentimes they don't get recognized for that.
I believe the unsung hero of CBC is Eric Moore. I look up to him, and I just find him as a great friend.
My unsung hero is Mr. Latch. He runs all the social medias and goes to every game and takes pictures. I think he does a great job.
Isaac Sear, because he is strong and he fights through a lot of pain that he's going through, and he keeps a positive attitude.
All right, the unsung heroes of CBC. There are so many out there. This is such a strong community. I'm going to give you my top 3. First, Mr. Russell. Mr. Russell does so much for our community. He's only been here a year and a half. He runs intramurals. He's at every tailgate. He's always giving back. He's always making sure that our students have an awesome experience. Second, Logan Davis, senior, cadet crew. That guy works harder than anybody at getting the crowd going and making sure that our game day atmosphere is on point. And last, David Drummond, a junior. He came up here, he gave a day of his summer vacation to come make sure that our transfer students, David's a transfer himself, he wanted to make sure our transfer students got a great welcome, a great introduction to CBC, and I really appreciate that about him. Those are my 3 unsung heroes of CBC.
While we covered some specific people here at CBC, there are so many people that go unrecognized for their accomplishments and even just for their kindness every single day. As we leave you today, we'd like to ask all of you, both students and anyone else watching, for a small favor. We'd like for you to pay just a little more attention to those people you see every single day who are your unsung heroes. Give them a shout out. Tell them thanks. Let them know that they have impacted your life. Let's try to showcase the love around our CBC community even more. And if you think we should know about this unsung hero or a story of good news here in our CBC community, don't forget to email us and let us know at liatheshow@cbchs.org. All right, well, that's all we got for you today. Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope to see you again soon. And always remember, it's never too early to celebrate Christmas.
No. Remember, always be kind. Thank you guys for tuning in. Leo Ramos and Tristan Murrow. We'll see you guys next time.